As you go into the detail of the lesson, you get to see smartness versus hard work. And this story especially has got a very special award, the McCavity Award. So intelligence and clever escape is the theme, and the story is about he is completely determined, he is very focused on his work. Hello students, and welcome to Prep School English classes. Today's session, Chapter 7 from your Vistas textbook, the lesson title Evans tries an O-level. As you go into the detail of the lesson, you get to see smartness versus hard work. Of course, both being a smart worker and being a hard worker will fetch one success. But efficiency matters here. How efficient are you? That is important for one to be successful in a better way. Secondly, we get to see habits do not fade. Some of the habits are inborn, and it is very natural that it keeps coming back during our journey of life. How much ever we wouldn't want to do something wrong, but if we are having that as a trait inbuilt in us, it will definitely show up sometime. So with this, let me take you to the details of what is the lesson Evans tries an O-level all about. When I tell you Evans, he is the protagonist of the story, and O-level, that means it's a German exam to start with. It is a primary level of learning German. So Evans takes up a O-level exam. And where does he take it up? He takes up in a prison. So the story is all about Ivan taking up an O-level exam in a prison. So let's get into the detail of the lesson. I will be discussing today who is the author, what is the title and the theme, what is the significance and the moral, who are the characters in the story, what is the summary, a short summary of the lesson, what are the expected questions, and how does the lesson conclude? What is that we learn from the lesson? So with this, let me take you to understand who is the author of the lesson. Author Colin Dexter. He is a British writer. He is a British writer. And this story especially has got a very special award, the McCavity Award, for the best short story in 1996. So it was a very big time award for Colin Dexter. So once again, what does he try to tell us in the story is that be smart in your work rather than, prolonging it with hard work. So going forward, let's have a short overview of what is the lesson all about. Going to the story, I told you the story is about a prisoner. Who is the prisoner here? It is Evans. So the prisoner befools all the officers in the prison to escape. Can you imagine how smart Evans could be to befool all the experienced and the very strong officers in the prison? He befools them and tries to escape from the prison. Going forward, what is the central idea? The central idea of the story is smartness itself. How smart one is for one's survival. So let's look at what is the theme of the lesson. The theme being clever escape. The whole story revolves around the ideas of the prisoner. Who is the prisoner here? Evans. So, what was the ideas of him? How intelligent was him to escape from the prison? So, the theme is being clever escape, and of course, to be clever, one need to be intelligence also. So, intelligence and clever escape is the theme, and the story is about the prisoner who befalls all the officers and escapes from the prison, and smartness being the central idea. Let's look at what is the message of the lesson. It says that smartness leads to success. smartness leads to success. It's very understandable, very evident in the lesson. Going to the moral, remember, one should never underestimate one's own opponent. You should never underestimate yourself. So that being the moral, going forward, what is the conclusion? The conclusion here is, what appears to you, whatever appears to you might not be the ultimate truth. Okay, whatever appears to you might not be the ultimate reality. So however I appear to you, I might not be the same way what you think of, isn't it? So I might have another phase in whatever I appear for you. So that being the conclusion, appearance might not be the ultimate reality. With the moral, one should never underestimate oneself, and with the message, smartness leads to success, let's move forward to understand who are the characters of this lesson. I told you every story will have few characters, isn't it? So let's move forward to understand the characters of the lesson. So the first one to start with, the governor. The governor, he doesn't have a name in the story, but he is the governor of HM prison at Oxford. Remember this, the name of the prison is HM prison, and where is it? It is at Oxford. Now, he is a no-nonsense man. He is completely determined. He is very focused on his work and on his responsibility. So, he is a no-nonsense man. Somebody cannot buy him. And he is the protagonist of the story. He is the main hero of the story. He is the one who is supposed to guard the prisoner Evans. And he is very determined. So, the next character is James Evans. He is a prisoner. James Evans is a prisoner in the HM prison. And he is under who? He is under the governor. Now, he is known to all the prison officials as Evans the Break. He is very specially known as Evans the Break. Why do you think that he is known as Evans the Break? That is because he has escaped from the prison not once, not twice, but 3 times he has escaped from the prison under the strict surveillance of the prison officials. So that's why everybody calls him as Evan the Break. Now, he is an antagonist. Now, when I say antagonist, someone who opposes. Now, the prisoner Evans is under the custody of the governor, but he doesn't get along, or he doesn't go along everything whatever the governor tells him. He opposes to everything. So that is why he is known as an antagonist, and is a congenital kleptomaniac. Now, congenital means what? Something which is in his trait, which he has acquired by birth itself, and it is a kind of a disease. So, escapes 3 times from the prison and is presently the prisoner at HM prison at Oxford. So, if you have to write about Evans, he is James Evans. He is known as Evans the Break. He is an antagonist. He is a congenital kleptomaniac, and he has escaped from the prison 3 times. He is very clever. He is very smart. And then, where is he prisoned? He is prisoned at HM prison, and he is under whom? Under the governor over there. So, that being James Evans, let's move to the next one, Reverend Stott McCleary. You call him as McCleary. Now, who is McCleary? He becomes a very important character in the lesson. He is a parson at St. Mary Marks. Parson means what? He is a priest over St. Mary Marks Church. Now, he is sent to Oxford prison to act as a proctor for German exam, for Evans German exam. I'll come back to it. What is German exam? I told you Evans is planning to take the O-level German exam. So, who goes there as an invigilator? It is McCleary. Now, McCleary goes as an invigilator. Now, who is McCleary? He is a priest at St. Mary Mark's Church. So he goes as an invigilator there. Now how is he? He has a short, choppy haircut. His haircut is very neat and it is very short. And he wears a clerical shirt. Clerical shirt means what? Typical formal shirt, full on with collar. And he wears glasses. He wears his spectacles and he has a long coat. Now, this man is very patient. He is very patient and he is a very respectable man. The fact that he is a priest only, you can understand that he is a very respectful and is a very patient man. So, if you have to write about McCleary, you need to understand that he goes as an invigilator to the prison to conduct the German exam for the prisoner Evans. Now, he is a priest and he is a very respectful person. Now, how does he look like? I told you, he has a short haircut, he wears a formal clerical shirt with collar, and then he wears glasses and he has long coat. So, thus you know about three characters now. The first one is the governor, followed by James Evans, and the last one being the Reverend Stott McCleary. So, with these three characters, let's move forward to understand the next character, that is Stephens. Now, who is Stephens? Stephens is very new to the post as an official or an officer. Okay, he is very new to the post. He has just been appointed as an officer to the HM prison. So, to whom does he report? He reports to the senior prison officer. Now, how is he? He is very blurry, slurry. Means he is very short-tempered. Okay, he is a very short-tempered, a little fat-looking man. So, he sat in Evans' cell during the examination. Other than the invigilator, it is Stephens who was appointed to sit next to the cell to watch Evans write the German exam. So, remember, Stephens is a blurry, slurry man. He is very new to the post as an officer and he reports to the prison officer. Now, what was his duty allocated for him? He was supposed to sit next to the cell of Evans while Evans was writing the German exam. So, that being Stephens, let's look at the next character, that is the assistant secretary. Once again, he does not have a name. So, who is the assistant secretary? He is the main person of the examination board. He is the secretary to the examination board. So, he is in a very high position and a government official. So, what did he do? He has a special responsibility. So, what was his responsibility? About modern languages. So, he had studied all the modern languages and he had taken up his profession as an examination head or in the field of education to conduct modern languages, to teach, to study, to conduct exam in the modern languages. So, remember, the assistant secretary is from the examination board. So, you have learned two more characters. One is Stephen and the other one is the assistant secretary. Moving forward, let's go to the next one, is a German teacher. Now, when Evans wanted to learn German when he is in the prison, a German teacher was appointed. Of course, the name is not mentioned, but we know him as a German teacher. He claims to hail from technical college. So, he is a faculty material. He is a teacher in a technical college. So, that is what he says. That's what he claims. Now, this teacher is one of Evans' many friends. You have to understand, just imagine Evans befriending everybody. So, the German teacher who's come into the prison is one of Evans' many friends. Okay, so that being the German teacher, let's look at the next character, the silent prison officer. So, there was an officer which was appointed in the prison. His name is not known. So what does he do? He escorts McCleary inside the prison. Now when the priest is coming as an invigilator, there must be somebody to receive him near the gate, do the formalities, and then take him to the prison room, take him to the cell. So that was what the silent prison officer did. He escorts McCleary inside the prison. And later, he relieved that. Later on, we get to know that this silent prison officer also was in good terms with Ivan. He was also one of the accomplices. So now you understand that Ivan has befriended everybody, okay, except the governor. So that being the silent prison officer and the German teacher, let's look at the next one being the Mr. Bell. Now who is this Mr. Bell? He is the detective chief inspector at St. Aldate's police station. He doesn't stay inside the prison, but he is the detective chief inspector at St. Aldate's police station. Next one being the carter. Now who is the carter? He is also a detective superintendent. So Carter is also another detective. So you have two detectives. One is Bell and the other one is a Carter. The next one, the last character being the secretary. So who is the secretary? He is the secretary of the examination board. He is the secretary to the examination board. He is the one who oversees conducting of Ivan's exam. From question paper to answer paper to the date sheet to the timing allotted to the invigilators to the teachers, everything, he is the one who actually oversees. So get to know these characters, Bell and Carter. They are the two detectives, and then there is a secretary of the board of examinations. So that being said, let me take you forward to show you a reference. It's about the hat which Ivan claims that it brings him good luck and he refuses to remove it at any point of time. So what is it about the hat what he wears? He claims it as a good luck hat. Now why do you think he does so? It is just before the exam that he had to have a haircut. Now after having the haircut, how did he cut his hair? He raised himself, okay? He did a haircut which was so similar to McCleary. Who is McCleary? He is the invigilator. Now why do you think Ivan did a similar haircut? That is because he wanted his head to be looking similar to McCleary the invigilator. And then when the officials asks him to remove the hat during the examination, he says that, no, I wouldn't want to remove the hat because that is something which bring me luck and I intend to do my exams very well. So understand that the hat symbolizes the way that Ivan's, there is a S here, it is Ivan's, it is not Ivan, it is Ivan's, fulfills and subverts people's judgment on him based on his appearance. So moving forward, get to know more. He had done a haircut, I told you, in order to impersonate as McCleary to escape from the prison. This is very important. He had done a haircut to impersonate, to resemble, to look similar to McCleary, who is the invigilator, to escape from the prison. It was necessary to hide his hair inside the hat. He had shaved everywhere, but only on the top portion he had. Remember I told you, McCleary had a short haircut, isn't it? So he did something like that. So the hat was required. It was necessary for him to hide his hair inside the hat. So this being the reference, let's move forward to understand few of the words in context. I have told you all that words in context are important. They are these unfamiliar words that you get to see while you read the textbook. Of course, you will not be questioned on give the word meaning of but it is important that you understand and relate the word to the context. So let's look at the words in context. Have a look at it. The first one is burly, followed by surly. Now burly and surly. Burly means large and a strong man, and surly is a bad-tempered person, followed by congenital means inherited, something which you have naturally got by birth, that is congenital. The next one is kleptomania. Kleptomania means it's a strong wish to steal. Now you have a strong wish to steal, though you don't want to steal it, but you feel like stealing it. That's because you have that inherited. It has come by birth to you. So kleptomania is a strong wish to steal that one cannot control. You can't avoid doing such a action. And kleptomaniac means that person. The person suffering from kleptomania is kleptomaniac. Next, chuckled means laughed quietly. Parsons, I told you, it's a churchman, a priest, a very respected man, a churchman or a priest. Going forward, the next one is reiterated, means repeated. Nagging, someone is nagging you, he nags me so much, that is irritation. Nagging means irritation. And the next one is guten Glück. It's a German word which says good luck. You need to understand that there are few German words in the lesson. It can be thank you very much, good morning, best wishes, or good luck. So good luck is guten Glück. You will get to see more similar ones in your lessons. Then ramrod means a strict supervisor, somebody who supervises his job very strictly. Next is contemptuous, is disrespect, and shrugged is disregarded, and the last one here is guild, means association. Quickly have a look at it. You will have few more. Have a look at this. The first one being bug, small microphone. Next one clanging is make a noise. Rivet means fixed. Chisel, you know about it, long bladed hand tool is chisel. Sorely means great intensity. Staccato is a short musical note. Staccato means what? A short musical note. Askew is tilted. Some more. The first one here is foster. Foster means what? Support. Sprawl means lie back. And then perplexed means puzzled. What is perplexed? Puzzled. Grim here is distant. Squeal means cry. Bewilderment. Bewilderment means confusion. And then lastly, whiplash. Whiplash is a sudden movement. It is important that you go through it once again. So these were few of the words meaning that I gave you. You will get to see many more also. Please check it out, and then you need to relate it to the context. Never neglect to understand while you are reading the text. Let's move forward to understand next what is the summary of the story. Evans tries a O-level. So let's look at the summary of the lesson. Before that, when I talk about the title of the lesson, Evans tries an O-level. When I say Evans, he is a man. He is a prisoner who is in which jail? HM Oxford jail. So he is the protagonist here. And when I say an O-level, it is the basic examination of the German language. And Evans want to take up that examination. So how was that examination connected to Evans and stay in the prison? Evans is cleverly planning up for an escape. So that's the reason he requests that he wants to learn German language and take up the examination, the O-level exam. So let's see what is the story Evans tries an O-level. So I have divided your story into subtopic, starting with an introduction. Then you will get to know why is Evans called the break. Evans is called Evans the break. Why is it? And then what is the O-level exam all about? And the visit of Jackson and Stephens. I said Jackson and Stephens are the two officials in the prison. So they visit Evans. What happens then? And what is so special about Evans' hat? What sentiments does Evans carry for his hat? So the next one, invigilator's inspection. Now there is only one invigilator, that is McLeary. Why was he called? Only because he was priest, he was with high reputation and a very honest and a respectful man. So, though he has so much of characteristic good features, there is inspection of the invigilator also. He is being investigated before he starts the exam. So, you will get to know about invigilator's inspection, and then there is something about the rubber ring. The invigilator McLeary had a rubber ring. So what is it about? And then how was the exam hall set? Who were there? How was the examination conducted? And then there is a rectification in the O-level German examination question paper. So what is the rectification about? That you will get to see. And lastly, how did Evans manage to escape from the prison? So I have divided into subtopic. So let's start with a short introduction to the lesson. Have a look at this. This is Evans. Now, I have just depicted a picture. He is an adult man, but I am showing you a boy here just to say that Evans in a prison. So, James Evans is the protagonist of the story. Where does he stay? Where is he prisoned? He is at HM Oxford Prison. So, the introduction to the story goes this way. It is a story of a criminal named Evans, James Evans. So, he is a criminal. He is at HM Prison. Now, the story shows us how an individual is capable of shaking the entire police department only because of his cleverness, only because of his smartness. So the story shows us how an individual is able to shake the entire police department with his cleverness. So the whole story is about Evans in the prison and how he has kept the police department and the officials in the prison on toes, and then how he manages to escape only because of his cleverness and smartness. So moving forward, look at this. He is called Evans the Break. The police department and everybody in the prison, the officials, knows him as Evans the Break. So what do you mean by Evans the Break? Why is he called Evans the Break? That is because he is known for escaping the prison 3 times. He has escaped the prison using his brains, using his smartness 3 times, and that is the reason everybody knows him as Evans the Break, because he breaks open and he runs away. So the police know him as Evans the Break. His plan to escape from the prison this time, it is the 4th time. So how does he plan to escape? With all his association with his friends outside the prison. Alright, so he has contacts with all the friends outside the prison, and that is how for the 4th time in this lesson he tries to escape. Now his cleverness has to be admired. Whatever said and done, his cleverness and his smartness is something to be admired and of course something to be appreciated. Moving further, what is it about? Now, Evans sets a plan. He goes back to learn German. He requests the governor, the official, the higher authority of the prison that he is interested to learn German and he wants to be educated on German language. So he needs some help. He wants somebody to teach him. He wants to take up an exam and he wants to be qualified. He wants that education qualification of passing a O-level German examination. So he requests the authority, the governor, that he wants to study German. So have a look at this. What happens after that? Evening classes are organized for him. Somebody has to teach him. Some teacher has to come and teach him inside the prison, isn't it? We cannot discourage somebody who wants to be educated or somebody who wants to study and move further. So, evening classes are arranged. The jail authorities arrange for a teacher, a German teacher, to come and teach him. So, what happens with a German teacher? He becomes Ivan's friend. Now, Evans befriends the German teacher and they both are the best of friends. So, that's about the German class. Moving forward, he wants to take up the O-level test. I have told you all, O-level test is a basic test of German language. So, he wants to take that test and he wants to be qualified. So, let's look at it. He is keen to acquire the academic qualification. Evans is very keen, is very eager to acquire the academic qualification of learning German. So, he writes a O-level test. He asks for a O-level test in German. Now, the governor accepts his request. The governor is okay to accept Evans' request of learning German because it's something to be learning. It's something to do with education. So, the governor accepted his request. What did he do? He arranged with the examination board. He spoke to the examination authorities and asked if it was possible. And only after they agreed, he also came to a conclusion that the exam is going to happen inside the prison only. Inside Ivan's cell only, he is going to write the exam. So, the exam had to be conducted in the exam only, and further, an invigilator is required to come and conduct the exam. So, a priest from St. Mary Mark's Church is appointed. He is of course a learned person, a very respected man. He is McCleary. So, he will be appointed to come and conduct the examination, the O-level test in Evans' cell itself. So, that being said, further, governor takes precautions. Now, the governor is very careful. He is very cautious. So, he takes precaution to double check Evans' cell and to see that everything is under the safe custody, and then Evan is watched so that there is no chance that he will try to escape. So, the governor takes precautions and he checks Evans' cell. So, why does he do it and how does he do it? So, the governor does it because he has got that fear that Evans will escape. So, why does he do it? He fears Evan may try to escape. So, he appoints Jackson, the senior officer of the prison, to go and check Evan's cell. So, what does he do? Jackson, a senior officer, is sent to inspect Evan's cell. So, Jackson thoroughly looks at everything, inspects, checks and report back to the governor to say everything is fine and safe for the exam to be conducted. So, he spends nearly 2 hours doing that job. So, whatever was found there, like the nails, the scissors and the files, they were all removed. Now, the prison officer, that is Jackson, along with Stephens, okay, the prison officer was made to stay in the cell till the examination was over. What did the governor do? He appointed the prison officer Jackson and Stephens, both of them, to stay in Evans' exam cell, wherever he is writing in his cell, till the examination was over. So what is it next? Visit of Jackson and Stephens. Who is Jackson and Stephens? They are the prison officers. So they visit Evan. They go to Evan's cell to talk to him to inspect. So what is it about? The visit was half an hour before the examination. Both of them go and talk to Evans half an hour before the examination. Evans was given a blade. Why was he given a blade? To shave himself. He had a very undressed hair. So the officers gave him a blade to say, you shave your hair so that you will look decent in front of the invigilator. And then Stephens takes the blade after the shave. The blade is taken back by Stephen after the shave. So what do Jackson and Stephen do visiting Evan's cell? Half an hour before the examination, they go and give him a blade to tell him to shave off his hair, and after that the blade is also taken back. So what happens after that? Now Evans has got a new look. He doesn't have hair. He has a little hair inside, but he doesn't want to show it. So he wears the cap. So now we talk about Evans' cap. So why is it an important part? For Evan, he says that though his cap is quite filthy and is asked to remove it during the time of the examination, he says that it brings him a lot of luck. It is a good luck cap for him and he wouldn't want to remove it. Okay, so that is what he tells the authority. But deep inside, what was his plan? He had had a haircut similar to the invigilator McCleary. Okay, surprisingly, you need to know that McCleary, who is coming as an invigilator, is Evans' friend itself. So, he wants a haircut, something very similar to McCleary, to the invigilator. In that way, he can plan out how to escape. So, what is it about his cap? He wore a filthy cap. He refused to remove it. He had a haircut which was quite long. He cut his hair. This was because to impersonate, to look similar, to impersonate the invigilator. Who is the invigilator? McCleary. So he wanted to impersonate the invigilator. So by removing the hat, he should be relieving the secret. He feels that if he removes the hat, they will get to know what is the secret. He wanted to look similar. When someone looks at his head, it should be similar to the invigilator. So if he removes it, they're going to recognize, isn't it? So he says that that is a good luck hat and he doesn't want to remove. So further what happens? The invigilator comes in. Who is the invigilator? McCleary, and he is the priest from a church. So he comes in and the exam has to start. So what happens? McCleary, who is the priest, who is supposed to be the invigilator, he arrives at the gate. So, McCleary arrived at the gate prism at what time? It was in the morning at 8:45 a.m. because the exam is supposed to start by 9 a.m. And he went straight into Evan's cell. McCleary went straight into Evan's cell. He introduces himself to the Evan. He introduces himself to Evans. It's a usual protocol, isn't it? When you have an invigilator in the examination hall, he will say good morning or whatever and he will wish you all and he will introduce, and only then the exam is going to start. So he does the same thing. So what happens further? Further, invigilator is investigated. Somehow the governor starts suspecting the invigilator McCleary. So, to be double safe, what does he do? He wants the officers to inspect and investigate the invigilator. So, investigation of the invigilator happens. How does it happen? The governor suspected the invigilator. There was a little bit of doubt with the governor on the invigilator, so he wants a inspection to happen. He rang up Mr. Jackson. So where was Mr. Jackson? Mr. Jackson and Stephens, both the officers, were sitting in the exam cell itself, isn't it? So the governor calls them up and tells them that McCleary, the invigilator, has to be investigated very carefully. So he checked McCleary very well. Who checks it? Jackson, as per the instruction of the governor, does the checking. Next, he had a small inflated rubber ring. Now, when McCleary came inside, he was carrying a box which had all the necessities of the examination, like the answer booklet, question paper, then the glue, pen, everything. Along with that, he had an inflated rubber ring. Inflated means the rubber ring which doesn't have hair. The hair has come out, it is almost flat. So an inflated rubber ring he had. So when McCleary was asked about the rubber ring, he tells Jackson and Stephens that he was having hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids is what? It's a kind of disease. It's a kind of piles. So he says that he suffered from hemorrhoids, and then to position himself on the ring, he would get a lot of relief, and that's the reason he had carried this rubber ring. So that was the reason. So and then Jackson report back to the governor to say that the invigilator is inspected well. So going further, let's look at what is the secret behind the rubber ring. So what is it with a rubber ring? I told you it was inflated. Inflated means there was absolutely no air. It was flat. But it had pig's blood. Now, why do you think, what was the necessity for the invigilator to carry pig's blood? And what was the reason he gave? The invigilator told, McCleary told Jackson that he had a disease, that is piles. To get a relief, to get positioned on that through the invigilation, he had carried it. But actually, the blood was for a different purpose. That is for Evans to escape. Okay, so let's see what is it. So about the secret ring, the rubber ring contained what? Pig's blood. The rubber ring contained pig's blood. You see, later on, the same pig's blood is used. Later, he used it to pretend that invigilator was wounded. The same McCleary used it on himself later to pretend that he was injured, he was wounded by Evans. So, now you need to understand that the E was not the real McCleary. The invigilator who had come in disguise of a priest as an invigilator to the examination hall was not the actual McCleary. Then where is the actual McCleary? Actually, he has been tied, he is kidnapped and he has been tied in his own apartment. Did you get that? The one who has come is a fake invigilator. So let's look at it, what will happen further. Further, the exam has to begin. Now it is the examination time. The time starts and Evans has to write the exam. So what happens? Evans takes instruction. Now the invigilator has to give the instruction, isn't it? And Evans takes down the instruction. Index number 313 and then the center number 271. So this was dictated and then Evans had to write down that. Please understand, there is something which is related to this code for Evans to plan and escape. That is why this number was dictated to him as an instruction. Now jailer Stephens was inside the cell. Jackson was outside, Stephen was sitting inside. Now Evans was smart enough. He pretended that it was a discomfort feeling to have an officer while he was writing the exam because it is a kind of disturbance for him. So he wanted the officer Stephens to go out of the cell. So he wanted Stephens to go out. Even asks him to stay out. So Stephen is outside but still is keenly looking at Evans and the invigilator to a peephole. You have seen the peephole in the doors, isn't it? So on the doors, when you see through the hole, you can see a bit of what is happening inside. So what happens? Exam started. Evans wanted Stephens to go out. So Stephen is outside observing through a peephole. So further, question paper rectification. Now, the question paper, the German language exam question paper is given to Evans. So how do you think that they got the information that there is a rectification in the question paper? Someone called up. So that is supposed to be a hoax call. It is supposed to be a fake call. So someone called up, and then from the higher authority, the phone was connected to Jackson. So what did Jackson do? He approaches the invigilator and gets the paper corrected. So there is some correction in the question paper. So what is the speciality in this correction? It will help Evans to get a hint. Evans will get a hint in that particular correction to escape. So have a look at this. It was 9:40 a.m. and then Jackson informed to the invigilator that there is an error in the question paper. The error is the golden lion. The correction was the phrase, the golden lion. So this was the correction. Now, this became a hint to Evans. The golden lion, along with the index number, became a hint to Evans. And thus, we can make out that it was a hoax call. It was a fake call. Further, the hoax call, that was one call. Now there is another call. So what is another? What is the next fake call? Let's look at it. The governor received another call. The governor in his cabin, he receives another call. What does the call say? The call is from the magistrate. A magistrate from the court calls the governor. So the call is from the magistrate. He says that he is in need of a prison van. What does he want? He wants a prison van along with two prison officials. Along with two prison officials. So why does he want the van and two prison officials? That is for a remand case. He wants it for a remand case. So the prison van which was sent to the magistrate, later at the end of the story was used by Ivan's friends to help Ivan to escape. So that's why the call which the governor got is a hoax call. So further, what happens? Have a look at it. Stephens is being very, very cautious. Where was Stephens? He was also outside Evans' cell. Why? Because Evans did not want Stephens to be inside the cell while he is writing the exam, because he was getting disturbed. So Stephens was outside the door and he was seeing through the keyhole, isn't it? So he was very alert to understand, to notice, to observe what is happening inside Evans' cell in the examination room. So he was very alert. What was happening? McClary was reading a newspaper. McClary was sitting and he was reading a newspaper. And then Evans sat with his pen in between his teeth. So Evans would keep his pen in between his teeth. Okay, so why do you think that he would keep it? So every time he was keeping it, he was telling the invigilator McClary that someone is observing us. Okay, so they were doing some kind of plan or idea. Now, he tells the invigilator that he is feeling very cold. Even says that he is feeling cold, for which the invigilator has to say that, yes, because this part of the prison, sunlight doesn't reach out, so definitely you will feel cold. Okay, let me help you out with a blanket. So, he drapes a blanket around him. Understand this? the invigilator McCleary gets up, takes the blanket and wraps around Evans. Now children, you need to know that when McCleary came inside for invigilation, he was already wearing two shirts. That means he had one shirt above the other. So he had a pair of clothes already ready. Okay, so that's why I tell you all, read the textbook in between. You get to know a lot of things, and it is very, very interesting actually to read the complete story. So Stephen is watching McCleary, wrapping the blanket around him. Further, Stephen gets a call. So I told you that whenever Evan catches the pen in between his teeth, it's a kind of, signaling the invigilator that Stephens is watching. So what happened? Stephen gets a call. So he gets distracted over the call. So he's talking over the phone now. So what is the call about? He says, 3 minutes before the exam. When does he get the call? 3 minutes before the exam. So what is the call? It says to accompany McCleary to the gate. So Stephen is instructed through the phone that he has to accompany the invigilator soon after the exam to the gate to see him off. So to accompany McCleary to the gate. Okay, and after that, after McCleary goes, he is asked to come back to Evan's cell to check if things are fine. So that was the call Stephen got. And when did he get the call? When this wrapping around of the blanket was happening, he gets the call. And it was just 3 minutes before the examination. And then he had to do that duty. So that was the hoax call. That was also a fake call. So further what happens? McCleary is wounded. So how do you get to know that McCleary is wounded? Now Stephen accompanies McCleary to the gate. Stephen accompanies McCleary to the gate as per the phone orders, isn't it? Now when he got back, he's supposed to get back and check on Evan's room, isn't it? So when he got back, he saw another McCleary sitting on Evan's chair and he is completely injured. Blood is oozing out. So that brings him a shock. So what do you get out of this? The actual person whom Stephens dropped, near the gate, he went to see him off, that was Evans himself. So Evans has escaped and McCleary is actually sitting in Evans' place and acting as if he is injured. So from where is the blood oozing out? It is the pig's blood that he is poured on himself and is acting to be injured. So Evans is bleeding, realizes that it was Evan who was dropped at the gate. Stephen is terrified and calls for Jackson. I hope you got it what happened. Who went out of the gate? It was Evans. Who stayed back in Evans' room? It was the invigilator. What was the status that invigilator McCleary was in? He was pretending as if he was completely injured by Evans and showing all the blood oozing out. So further, what happens? Everybody gets to know, everyone around the cell in the prison gets to know that Evans had escaped in disguise of McCleary. Everybody got to know that Evans has escaped in disguise of the invigilator McCleary. Now McCleary, who was the invigilator, was Evans. McCleary, who was the invigilator, was Evans' friend who helped to escape. So there was no doubt at all that McCleary was not the actual invigilator. He was Evans' friend himself and he was the one who helped Evan to escape. So the next action was to go behind Evans to try to find out and catch him back. So further, what is going to happen? So where is the actual McCleary? I told you all, actual McCleary never reached the prison at all. He is actually a very respected man, a very learned man. He is a priest of a church. So where is he? Evan's friends have kidnapped him and they tie him up in his own apartment. So, actual McCleary is tied in his own apartment. The fact was that actual McCleary was kidnapped and tied in his own apartment. This was once again done by Evans' friends. Moving further, the governor. The governor is very, very angry now. Yes, because after all the hard work and the effort he has put behind the whole process of this examination, right from getting a German teacher to contacting the examination board and everything, he is very angry. He realizes and he connects the whole fact behind his escape. He recollects all these things. First of all, the number of fake calls he got and the invigilator dictating the paper code, the paper rectification, the magistrate asking prison van and 2 officers, and then even refusing to remove his hat and the rubber ring, the secret behind the rubber ring. He cannot believe all this, but he tries to connect one after the other. He interlinks it, and finally he gets to know that particular word, the Golden Lion. That's a great hotel. So he feels that Ivan is escaped to that hotel. So he takes action in successfully arresting Evans and team. Now he is in action. He wants to set everything in force to arrest Evans and team. So let's move forward to understand what happens next. So what happens next? The governor uses his intelligence. He decodes all these things from the paper code to the paper correction and derives at the Golden Lion and understands that the Golden Lion is a big star hotel. It's a big popular hotel, and he was very sure that if he goes there, he can get Evans. So he rushes with his team to the Golden Lion Hotel. So what happens there? It was the governor's intelligence, decodes the pranks, reaches the Golden Hotel, finds Evans. He finds Evans. Ivan was relaxing there after a good meal. So he finds Evans there. He gets to know the story behind the whole escape. He was not rude to Evans. He finds him there. He talks to him. He gets to know the whole story about what was it behind this escape. So then what happens? Evans confesses. Okay? Evans tells the whole story about his escape. Also, you need to look at this point. Evans appreciates the governor's intelligence. Evans appreciates the governor's intelligence. He tells him that the governor is great to have decoded everything and to be deriving at Golden Lion Hotel. So he says, you are a great person. And also, he relieves the fact of his plan. Whatever plans he had, he relieves it to the governor. And then how his friends had also helped him. So Evans confesses in front of the governor to tell him about the whole plan of the escape. So what happens next? Ivan gets arrested. The governor gets to know everything. Does the governor want Ivan to go away? No. So he's been successful. He's very happy that he could get Ivan and he wants him to arrest. So the governor comes with Evans to the lobby. From the room, he comes to the lobby. There is a receptionist who actually gave the room to Evans. The receptionist is also Evans' friend. So receptionist tells the governor that the prison officers are waiting with a prison van. So the prison officers are there with a prison van and Evans is handcuffed. Evans is handcuffed and he is taken to the prison. Thus, the governor thinks that successfully he has arrested Evans and he is very happy that he is taking him back to the prison. So, further, how does the story end? Does the governor, with his intelligence, is able to walk back to the prison with Evans being arrested, or does Evans escape from the governor even now? So let's look at it. What will happen? The governor is once again deceived. The governor is once again cheated. The prison officials unlock the handcuffs of Evans. What do the prison officials do? They unlock and they set Evans free. Why is it? Because they were also his own friends. They were his friends. They had asked for a prison van. Remember, magistrate had called and the governor gave them the van. So they were none other than these friends itself. So they drove to Newbury. They drove to a new city, a big city, Newbury. Evan escapes for the fourth time. The governor is not able to do anything. The handcuff is removed. They are in the prison van and they speed towards this new city, the big city, Newbury, and thus for the fourth time, Evans escaped. So, what does he say at the last? Evan is released. He goes away from the prison. It is not released. According to Evans, he is released, but it is an escape. So he gives a big laugh at the governor from the prison van. He gives a big laugh and says that he lives up to his name. Evans says, I live up to my name, Evans the brave. And here I have been relieved. I released myself and I have escaped. So he gives a big laugh. So this is a story of Evans tries a O-level. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is smart work beats hard work. I told you all both smart and hard work is successful, but how efficient one is, that is important, and always the smart work what Evans did beat the hard work of the governor. So that is the conclusion of the story. With this, let's move forward to understand what are the questions that you can expect from this lesson. The first type being your short answer questions, that is for 2 marks. Evans does not remove his hat. Why? I am sure you will be able to answer this. The governor's reaction to the phone calls. There are too many phone calls which the governor got. In specific, they will ask you which is that specific call. So, but still you need to get to know what were the reaction on all the phone calls. What clues did the answer sheet of Evans provide to the governor? What was the clue that was provided? What did governor ask Carter to do? What did the governor ask the Carter to do? And what were the precautions taken by the prison authorities for examination? So what were the precautions taken? Moving forward to the long answer, which are for 6 marks. In spite of the precautions taken, Evans was able to escape. How? How did Evans, in spite of all the precaution, in spite of so many people behind the job, how did he manage to escape? You need to elaborate and write. Purpose of question paper and correction slip, serve. What purpose did it serve? Character sketch of the governor of Oxford Prison and the precautions taken by the prison authorities to prevent the escape. So what were the precautions that priorly the authorities had taken for Evans to escape? They were very, very careful, isn't it? So these are few of your long answer and your short answer questions. That's it for today. To conclude, I hope you have followed the lesson. Yes, of course, it's a lengthy lesson, but it is quite interesting. What is that I want to tell you all? You have to read your textbook. That way you can connect the lesson well and then you will understand it better for you to answer any kind of question in a very simple way. Remember, smart work beats hard work. It's for you to be smart enough to finish your studies today itself. Never keep this lesson for tomorrow. That gets piled and you have to do a lot of hard work later. So be a smart worker. See you in my next session on Face of It. Until then, all smiles to you. Bye-bye.